What you doing, Diggletdreamers? Mather's back for next replay for the GLA. And just to clarify something from the last one, actually, it was not the final battle of the regular season. It was just my final battle because in the final round of the regular season before playoffs, my opponent was not around, and I just got the forfeit win. I just forgot about that. So it was that one that was able to clinch us into the playoffs, which is this battle is the first round of the playoffs. We were the number 4 seed. We were up against the number 1 seed. Or was it? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, we were up against the number 1 seed, which was the LCC. This is Griffin, my opponent for this week. I'm finally bringing Tang Growth because it actually does take a few hits from things like Halucha. Tapu Koko takes on like Excadrill, Hippowdon, stuff like that. But Cinderace, Corviknight, Gardevoir, Nidoqueen, my MVPs basically. Poliwrath unfortunately didn't make it either. But let's get into this battle. What the hell? When has that ever been on? Oh, it's because I clicked play and not play with music off. Okay. But yeah, I was going to say Koko, Halucha, obviously big threatening offensive core. U-turned is way too much there. And I'm pretty sure he's banded Koko because that's what I would run. Because Koko gets play rough and close combat in the new DLC moves. But I'm doing a heck of a lot with Guts Facade. Hippowdon, I knock it off, and then he goes into this, and yeah, so I go Tang Growth because it can take on any type of Excadrill. As he has Swords Dance, and I go for the knockoff, which does a lot. Knock off his leftovers, and I think I live. Yeah, I live and knock him out with the Giga Drain and don't get flinched. So that's big, fast offensive threat out of the way. As now this thing comes in, I can get Regenerator, so of course I'm going to go into my Nidoqueen, which should be able to take this thing on pretty well. As a U turns out into Latias, so I go Gardevoir, which is kind of my Latias check. He goes for the Shadow Ball, which does a heck of a lot of +1, but my Hyper Voice is going to be doing it almost as much. Unfortunately, with the Thunderbolt in the electric terrain is going to knock out my Gardevoir, but this has put his Latias in a pretty weak spot. My Cinderace can just come in and click U-turn, does a good chunk to anything, and gets me momentum. And now Obstagoon is back. He switches into what's this thing? Hippowdon, as I 2 KO, but between the burn and the sand damage, it unfortunately knocks me out. But that does keep this thing at 14%, which is pretty great, as Pyro Ball is able to knock it out. So yeah, Cinderace is looking pretty good versus his team right now. I just U-turn on the Araquanid, bringing it to below half, as I go Corviknight, which should be able to take most hits from this thing. Liquidation definitely does a lot, but definitely not enough to really pose a threat. So I just start bulking up as he just goes for a Soak, which is kind of pretty cool. Can actually Toxic me now, and I don't like that, so I decide to taunt there. I should have taunted before, so I didn't become a water type, but do what you can. I go for the bulk up there, which I think was a bit of a mistake. I probably should have just Brave Birded, tried to knock out the Araquanid, and it would have gotten me good damage on the Tapu Koko, but I knew he had to go. This is the first time I'm pausing in like this whole GLA series, but I knew he was going to go for an electric move there, and I knew he was banded just because of how much damage he was doing. And so I just went right into Nidoqueen, and it was great. And I just click Ice Beam, which hits everything. And if he wants to go this, I can just Thunderbolt and knock it out. So pretty cool. He goes into this. I was fearing Roost, which is why I stayed in. Or no, I didn't. Sorry. I just went Cinderace because if he Roosts, then I just U-turn. I can take on most of his other things. As I actually predict the U-turn there, knock him out, because I think I lived any one hit from this thing. Yeah, as he actually makes a read there, going for the play rough, and I'm able to get the U-turn off and get some chip. And I just go Nidoqueen, knowing I can, take a play rough pretty handily, and I just go for the Ice Beam just to try to catch the Halucha if he wants to come in on like a Earth Power, but he doesn't. So I decide to go Corviknight, knowing that he's banded into it. And what do I do here? Just click Brave Bird. No, I bulk up, which means I live any hit from this thing at +1 defense. And he goes for the Swords Dance, and I just Brave Bird, which brings him to 35%. And I think I still live any one hit Yeah, I live close combat, and knock him out with a Brave Bird. So now his Coco is at 18%. Is actually could be kind of scary. My team is not at the highest bulk, but he does have to choose a move to lock into, which he couldn't do Wild Charge, obviously, since I have a ground type, and I get to show off the quick attack Cinderace. I forgot about quick attack. Oh man, that was such a great tech. But yeah, since I think it was because it was a roll, or no, I mean he could have crit Nidoqueen or something. So quick attack was definitely the better play, and I forgot to. I completely lost track of the text here. Anyway, yeah, so that was the first round of playoffs versus the LCC, and the VDL managed to move on. We beat, I think it was the number 1 seed, being the number 4 seed, and got into the finals. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Keep dreaming. Goodbye.